Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, guys? Looking for... There we go. Just making sure it's on. What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? Howdy. Hey, what's up? Everybody feeling the CME yet? I know a lot of people are mentioning it in the chat room, talking about the energy from the CME that's surrounding the planet. Oh yeah, everybody's talking about it. What's going on? Shadow Woman, Sandy Michael. I'm actually editing a video right now. Got you guys behind the scenes. This is a video that's going up on YouTube here in, as soon as I can get it edited. I'm talking less than 30 minutes. You guys are gonna see a black rainbow. Are you serious? A black rainbow, yeah. Clean these glasses here, a black rainbow. You know, I've done a lot of videos over the years. I've done a lot of editing of pictures and videos, and I've never seen Skeptical Observer. Hey, what's up? Top of the day to you, brother. I've never seen a black rainbow. You know, I think the rainbow's feeling the CME too. That's why it just turned black. People are talking about I gotta get this video edited. People are talking about just feeling off in general. And guys, I can only speak for myself, but I will say this. I have noticed during solar maximum, I don't want to, I don't know. I just feel different things, I guess, with my neurological system, maybe. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know. I may wake up earlier, and I'm an early riser anyway. I like to get up early, but I wake up like super early, and I've noticed this trend during solar maximum. I was going to do a poll here in just a minute, but maybe we'll do it here in just a minute. I got to get this video edited. You guys are behind the scenes with me. I'm editing a video right now, right here. I'm editing the video I just did. Try not to have it too loud. Boy, let me see here. Yeah, so I'm gonna engage in the chat here, but I got to get this video up. I got to have it up before 4:45. Skeptical Observers. My medication for diabetes doesn't work as well during CMEs. Thanks for sharing that. A lot of people very exhausted, restless, and agitated. Yeah. Very tired. I've been watching for a long time. I'm so glad. Thank you. That's very kind. Exhausted. A lot of people are experiencing some forms of fatigue. To be totally honest with you, today, this very day, I have felt fatigue. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt fatigue doing this video production. You know what, guys? To do a YouTube video, and I've done thousands, it's not something, when you edit a video, like this particular video here, it takes several hours to do. And if I'm not like mentally sharp and really super focused and things like that, you can probably tell in the video that I was a little tired that day, or, you know, maybe something was different. And you gotta keep in mind, I feel these same energies that you guys feel. And yes, someone just mentioned that the magnetic field is weakening. Yes, to a certain degree. The magnetic field is weak anyway, guys. It is. It's weak anyway. So it wouldn't take much. It really wouldn't take much. So that's that thin blue line. There's the sun behind me. Some solar flare activity. But there is not much protecting us from the strong solar storms. There's a proton radiation storm underway right now. Been going on for 3 days. 3 days. Oh, man. So yeah, I think solar maximum is starting to catapult into high gear. And those of us, myself included, I do feel the energy of solar maximum. Absolutely. I'd be lying if I said I didn't, and I don't lie. So it's easier just to tell the truth. Look, when you tell the truth always stays the same. Just remember that. Tell the truth, your story will never change. When you tell lies, your story is always changing because you forget what you maybe said the time before. So you're like, okay, what did I say before? So then the lies change. Just always tell the truth. Then your story will always be the same. Okay, just like right now, I'm being very truthful. Let me get this edited. You guys are behind the scenes. I'm editing a video that I'm getting ready to upload here as soon as I get it edited. And you know me, I gotta have it just right. Hold on, just bear with me. Please bear with me. I'm a little less than halfway through it. What I'm talking about here in this segment of the video is already done, and I'll give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes. I'm talking about the wildfires down in Chile. Man, they have been something else. A lot of wildfire activity down in Chile, and I've been following it. I see it on Zoom Earth, satellite of the Earth, but I don't normally get a lot of news out of Chile. I am editing right now, guys. This is how I edit right here. You guys feeling the earthquake activity in Chile? Yes. Earthquake swarm in Southern California. Did you guys see that? Down in the Imperial, California area? Yeah. Earthquake swarm. In fact, it slowed down some, but last time I checked, when I did a video, I talked about it the other day or here earlier, it was around 211. Now over 230, I think, some earthquakes, 232 in 24 hours in Imperial, California. That's south of the Salton Sea.
Calling it an unprecedented catastrophe, the wildfire situation down in Chile. So that's something that we've down in Chile. So that's down in Chile.
Yeah, they're calling the wildfire situation an unprecedented situation down in Chile. Get this edited here, get it uploaded.
Hundreds of people have been displaced due to so not a good situation going on down. So not a good situation. Wildfire situation. They're calling it an unprecedented this video.
Takes a while to edit a video, it really does. Depending on how long the video is, just kind of giving you guys a little behind the scenes. Oh, thanks. Who did that? Thank you, appreciate that. Who did that? That was so nice. Donna Desmond. Thank you, Donna. What's going on? How are you today? I'm editing a video. You guys are going to see this video in less than an hour.
Situation going on down in the Santiago, Valparaiso.
skies are getting weird.
This video. So not a good situation going on down in the Santiago, Valparaiso.
You see some sky phenomena in this video.
Once again, as wildfires are
Just kind of
raging.
touching on some other things around the world.
I want to take you guys to which are raging right now, like in this video.
Always try to touch base on, you know, major topics that are going on around the world.
Take you guys out to the next- take you guys now to the next space station.
Takes longer to edit than it does to do anything. It really does.
Speaking of great observation, fires are raging right now as I do this video. I want to take you guys now up to the International Space Station. This photo was sent in by Aaron.
Got some cool things to show you from the International Space Station.
Just a couple of days ago, she noticed what looked like a Fibonacci spiral. Check that out. Over the ocean.
Now this one you'll have to
From the International
check it out and
Space
see.
That is nearly a perfect example of the Fibonacci spiral. Check that out. Great observation by Mary Hall from the International Space Station.
Yeah, guys, I feel I can tell when we're in solar maximum. I can tell when we're in solar minimum,
And speaking of great,
and I can tell just by the way I feel. You know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is what it is. There's no avoiding it. You know, sometimes if you wonder why, you know, you got a great night's sleep and you know, maybe you went for your walk that day or whatever, but for some reason you just feel overly fatigued. And I've seen people mention that in the video here. Sometimes it could be from that right there. All that energy from solar maximum, CMEs, believe it or not, coronal hole energy. When there's a coronal hole facing the Earth, on the Earth-facing side of the sun, I did a study on that many years ago, and I was actually surprised at the amount of people that were sensitive in various ways. You know, everybody's different, so everybody was sensitive in different ways to coronal hole energy. I was very surprised. I learned that 10 years ago.
speaking of great observations in this video.
It's very real. It's very true.
Station. And speaking of great observations, in this video here, you guys are going to see what looks like a tic-tac UFO, a mysterious white object in the sky above Spokane, Washington on February 13th. Just a couple of days. On February 13th, on February. Like a tic-tac UFO, a mysterious white object in the sky above Spokane, Washington on Washington.
This is how I edit, guys, right here.
Station. And speaking of
This is how I edit.
observations, in this video here, you guys are going to see what looks like a tic-tac UFO, a mysterious white object in the sky above Spokane, Washington on February 13th of 2024. Video footage sent in by Christina, who looked up and noticed this in the daytime sky.
This is a cool part right here.
A small pair of wings protruding from the side, but overall, this thing is almost as thick as it is wide.
Something above Spokane, Washington that was pretty weird. You'll see it if you watch the video.
With very, very small wings. And there's no tail fin or any other thing that looks like an airplane. These are not.
Okay.
What is the tail? What's it? No, but oh yeah, but it's with very, very small wings. And there's no tail.
Right now I'm editing the part
Like a tic-tac with very, very small wings. No visible tail fin or anything.
video
like
out of
that.
Spokane, Washington of a mysterious object in the sky.
This thing appears to be spiraling through the sky, and then right here, for whatever reasons,
It's kind of spiraling.
discharge some sort of a vapor out the back of it.
I don't know. It's got some sort of vapor coming out the back. It's just another
And then for whatever reason, there's a wings. No visible tail fin or anything like that. It's super small wings, and this thing appears to be spiraling through the sky, and then right here, for whatever reason,
okay. Getting close. Getting close.
No visible tail fin or anything like that. Just some super small wings. And this thing the sky, and then for whatever reasons, right here in this area, it started to discharge some sort of a vapor out the backside of it. But once again, some sort of a mysterious
Okay,
tic-tac-like object
about halfway through the
spotted in
video.
the sky, spotted in the sky yesterday above. Okay, like object spotted in the sky, spotted in the sky today. Object spotted.
I'm about halfway through. Halfway through, guys. Should be a good video. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Donna. Big fan. Star family member. Yay.
Tic-tac-like object spotted in the sky yesterday above Spokane, Washington. Hi, Christina. Going.
Okay, I got that part done. So you're going to see something in the sky above Spokane, Washington.
Object spotted in the sky yesterday above Spokane, Washington. Hi, Christina. Going from tic-tac.
This is quite an interesting video. It's got some interesting footage in it, no joke.
This showed up on an outdoor camera right here.
Okay, now this part I'm working on, some sort of a crystal clear orb. Crystal clear in the daytime sky.
No mistaking this as a bird or
There's no other way to interpret this.
some sort of an
Straight up orb right here I'm looking at.
field of view of this outdoor camera.
There's no other way to interpret this what I'm looking at. I tried. I always give you guys the best possible version of, you know, whatever it is I'm sharing. And you're going to see an orb that showed up in the field of view of an outdoor camera, and it is a it's definitely not an animal like a bird.
You can see it right there. Some sort of a mysterious orb spotted in the sky on this camera sent in by Tony going back to January 22nd. Want to share with you guys
Okay,
now video
that part's edited.
black rainbow. I've seen some colorful rainbows over the years.
Okay, now I'm editing like the main part of the video here.
I don't think I've ever, but I've never seen one. But I mean, some rainbows over the years, but I don't think in over the years, but I don't think.
You're going to see a black rainbow in here. Yeah,
Over the years, but I've never seen.
never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like this. And I've done a lot of videos, I've done a lot of photos. I'm an image analyst. I've never seen what you're seeing, not to this intensity, never.
Colorful rainbows over the years, but I've never seen one that looked this profoundly dark. Check this out.
It is very profound, almost eerie looking.
Once again, sent in by Jesse. Here we go.
It's almost eerie looking.
Here we go.
I mean, it kind of is, to be honest with you. I'm editing it right now. Got to adjust the volume because this video had a little bit of narration at the beginning. So whenever I get a video that has narration, I like to leave it in. It adds authenticity. You know, this is what the viewer experienced. And again, what you see on this channel are real people that are experiencing real things. We may not always know what they're experiencing, but they're real people experiencing real things. And in some cases, ordinary people witnessing some extraordinary things. But just know that these are all real people. Right now what I'm doing, anytime there's narration in the video, I always have to adjust the, you know, the volume, just so you can hear it. Just make it as good as I possibly can. Here we go. Let's see.
Sent in by Jesse. Here we go.
Yeah, okay, so we got the volume good, so you guys can hear it good. Right on. Okay, so that part's done. I'm almost done, over halfway done.
As you heard Jesse say at the beginning of that video, he had never seen a rainbow like this in his entire life. And I agree. I analyze videos and photos every day, pretty much 7 days a week. And I have never seen a rainbow that dark.
6 minutes in.
It looks like a black rainbow in the sky. How weird is that? that. I mean, you can see the bright colors
Six
on both sides of
6
the
minutes in.
dark in the center. That is very dark, almost black.
Wow.
A black rainbow in the sky, and he was quite taken.
This is weird,
thing,
for sure. This is really weird, no joke.
with you guys. And this is
I've
one
never
that
seen one quite like
was
this.
again taken by Jesse just a few days ago, and he was the passenger
Weird.
in this car as they were driving down the road, so he was able to get this.
What's going on, Tanya? Susan?
As they were driving, and you could see it was sprinkling, or it had been
Willie
raining
Wayne?
at the time this rainbow appeared in the sky. Here's another angle.
Wow.
Just how
This is
dark this
weird.
rainbow was. I mean, appearing to be black in the.
This is the way I edit right here. Sometimes it takes an hour and a half.
This rainbow was.
I mean, I'm talking 100 splices. It's a lot of work editing, if you want to do it right.
Rainbow was.
You've seen how many splices I've done just here in 20 minutes.
Rainbow was. Appearing to be
Almost done.
black in the daytime sky. Check out how dark that is.
That's weird.
Unbelievable. Been seeing a lot of weird things in the sky here recently, but I never thought.
It's pretty good.
I'd see a
Good video sent in by Jesse.
in the daytime sky. Been seeing a lot of weird things and seeing a lot of weird things.
Another splice right here. Another splice here. But almost done.
Unbelievable. Been seeing a lot of weird things.
Yep, almost there.
Here recently, but I never thought I'd
Hi,
see
Donna.
a black rainbow. Check that out. Here's one more. Another example of.
Wow, I didn't know that. Donna, thank you for sharing that. You know, that happens a lot. You guys that are subscribers, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. Donna just shared with me that she noticed, hey, Mustang 68, what's going on, buddy? She said she was unsubscribed. So double check, make sure you're still subscribed. I have no control over that, guys. I would never do that. Never. I would never do that. That would be counterproductive, you know. I want you guys to watch my videos. I want you to be notified. Why you get unsubscribed, I have no idea. But there's ways to just go around and just double check. Just double check.
Unbelievable. Been seeing a lot of weird things in the sky here recently.
Almost
I
done.
never thought I'd see a black rainbow. Check that out. Here's one more. Another example of a black
Editing
rainbow.
sometimes requires 2 hours.
Florida. This one's not quite as intense, but you can see it does have a dark feature to the. But as you can see, it does have to.
Almost done.
As intense, but you.
And thank you for sharing, Donna. I always ask, or at least I try to ask and remind people to double check, make sure you're still subscribed. But you know, I don't like to sound like a broken record, but it's true. It happens. It happens to me. You know, it happens to everybody. You get unsubscribed or you don't get notified, whatever. But just check and make sure you're still subscribed.
Quite as intense, but as you can see, it does have
Almost
a
done.
dark feature in the center of it, much like Jesse's rainbow.
About 30 seconds.
Just a couple of days ago. Both very dark, almost black rainbows in the daytime sky. Thanks for the photos and videos, guys. Keep them coming. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. If you guys have any videos you'd like to share that are too
Done.
long to attach to the email, come over here to the
Got it.
page of the website. You can
Okay. So
see what's going on, guys.
that part is
Everybody's
complete.
doing well and having a great day. In this video, you guys are going to see a rare.
So what we're going to do is upload this video here in just a moment. What's going on, guys? Everybody feeling the effects of the CME? The cannibal CME? Actually, what that was, there were a series, and believe it or not, they're still waiting on the arrival of these things. There was a series of 3 CMEs headed towards the Earth. Let's say one CME departed the sun on the 12th at 10 Universal Time. Another one departed the sun on the 12th at 14 Universal Time. So the first one's got a 4-hour head start on the second one. And then the third one decides to depart off the sun. And, you know, it's say 8 hours behind, but it's moving exponentially faster. So it catches up with the CMEs ahead of it and just sweeps them up and becomes one big CME. And that's why scientists, not me, call them cannibal CMEs. They don't happen very often. So when it did happen, that's why I used that verbiage. That's what it was. It was a cannibal CME. In literal sense, it literally devoured some CMEs in front of it and became one big CME. And we're still waiting on, what's weird, we're waiting on the arrival of the CME. There should be I'm looking right now, still kind of quiet, waiting on the arrival of the CMEs. There were multiples. I can see an increase in overall activity, but no geomagnetic storm just yet. But I do think it's coming. I don't know how it can miss. Yeah, they're still saying waiting for the CMEs. I think it's the calm before the storm, guys. I really do. I think it's the calm before the storm. And we definitely are in solar maximum. So that video, let me make sure it's done before I put the... Okay, that is 100% done. There we go. Yay. Yay, done. Done, another one done. Right on. So how's everybody doing today? Doing good? Terry Washington, hey, what's going on, Terry? I'm getting ready to upload this video. In fact, I'll go ahead and upload it now. I'll do it while you guys are here. Hi, Terry. How's it going, buddy? Paisley Moon, Newton, Eric from the Netherlands. Yeah, our whole bodies feel the energy from the CMEs, and people are sensitive to the spikes in the Schumann resonance and things like that. Many years ago, I did a study. Let me see if I can find it. Not the study. I'll show you what I did do a study on, though. Right now, there's no coronal holes facing the Earth, but I did a study on coronal hole and energy, like energies that come out of the coronal holes towards the Earth. I did a study on that, and I interviewed people, and how they felt during the coronal hole event. Did they feel, you know, a change in their, like someone mentioned in here earlier, the fatigue. Oh, someone asked, why is the moon laying on its back? It's the position of the moon with regard to the position of the sun. It seems like that the moon, you know, as it's orbiting the Earth, I think sometimes it gets into a different type of an orbit. So it looks like, you know, we're seeing now the bottom of the moon illuminated at night sometimes, where it looks like the moon has tilted or whatever, and it really hasn't. It looks like it has, but I think it just changes the speed over time of the moon has changed, giving us these weird looks in the sky, you know. But yeah, I did a study on the coronal hole. I'm getting ready to upload the video now, guys. Here we go. I'm gonna do it right here. here we go. So it'll probably be about 10 minutes. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, but I did a study on coronal hole energy and the effects on humans. Donna actually I never gave the CMA a thought until even after years of watching you. However, recently after paying attention, I've realized I get headaches, honestly. Terrestrial alien. Donna, that's true. And most people, they don't make that connection. You know, but it honestly, and I've said this for many, many years, it's this energy around us. It's what we can't see that impacts us more so, honestly, I think, than what we can see. It's an invisible energy. And it's very real, absolutely. I forgot. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a interesting video for sure. I've never seen footage quite like this that was sent in. Wow, no joke. I mean, I have, but I've never seen anything quite this intense. And I'm wondering if solar maximum and the ongoing storms that we're seeing right now with regard to the sun, I'm wondering if it's influenced what you're about to see in this video. Yeah, people feel a lot of things. I know sometimes during CME events, solar storms, coronal hole energy. There's not any coronal holes facing the Earth right now. This would be considered a small one. That down there is a small one, but the energy's not facing the Earth. But I notice sometimes I'll wake up very early. You know, I'll wake up at maybe 2:30 in the morning. Maybe wide awake and like, okay, you know, obviously I don't want to get up that early. Why am I awake at 2:30 in the morning? And, you know, it could be because of a geomagnetic storm, but I notice it more during solar maximum opposed to solar minimum. I notice it more during solar maximum or in solar maximum years. Yeah, and I know you're sensitive to it. Everybody's sensitive to it. It's just part of being human. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. And if you keep a journal and you were to monitor the sun, like I've done for many, many years, good grief, since 2008, and I have kept journals and things like that. So I know there is a legitimate connection, of course. But if you keep a personal journal for yourself, you would be pleasantly surprised at some of the things you'll learn. Like, okay, on this day, you know, there was a large coronal hole, which right now there's not. But some days there'll be like big dark areas on this. That's a different wavelength. There's many different ways to view the sun. This wavelength here shows this part of the atmosphere of the sun. And like the Earth, the sun has many layers to its atmosphere. Well, if there's a black area on here, that's a coronal hole. And that's a different type of raw energy coming off that star that's coming right towards the Earth. And we, as humans, we feel that energy, you know, directly sometimes, you know, indirectly, maybe through the ionosphere and magnetic shields, because they'll absorb the energy, the Earth absorbs the energy, and then we, as members of the Earth, indirectly absorb the energy. So it's quite a chain of events that take place that, you know, we have no control over. We can try to understand it, keep a journal, and follow. You can follow. You can find all of this information over here at the website. That's my website there, MrMBB333.com. And there's a place where you can find all the information that's relevant to you. Yeah, relevant to you. That's why I did it. So you can keep track. Okay, there was a solar storm that day, and I didn't sleep good. There was a coronal hole that day. Michael talked about the coronal hole, and man, that day I was starving. I couldn't get enough to eat that day. I was hungry all day long. And then when the coronal hole turned away from the earth, I was back to normal. I didn't feel like I couldn't get enough to eat. You know, things like that just come out of nowhere, like these coronal holes that sometimes come out of nowhere. Well, they impact us all. All kinds of weird, you know, maybe emotions and things like that. Just know it will pass. It will pass, and it will be okay. Okay, could you see me turn this way? Okay. Okay, so now do okay. Sorry guys, I'm just finishing up this this video. I'm almost done. Almost done. Well, somebody sent me in a very wild picture of the sun. I mean, wild. Wait till you see it. In fact, I'm going to use it for the thumbnail, but this isn't necessarily the feature. I'm just giving you guys behind the scenes. Yeah, this is featured content in the video. Boy, it's wild looking. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm making the thumbnail. I like to make my own thumbnails. I always have. Somebody out of Panama City Beach sent me in a really wild picture of the sun. Yeah, almost looked like a version of Medusa. I'll give you a clue. Medusa. That's what you're going to see here in a minute. Medusa. Just remember you heard it here. I'm going to show you something here in a minute. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. And I haven't done anything to this photo except right now I'm just adjusting the size so I can make a thumbnail. Other than that, this is exactly when you see the thumbnail for this video that's going up, just know that right now I'm adjusting the size. I haven't done anything else to it. Nothing. This is how the young lady sent it to me. Her name's Karen out of Panama City Beach. And it is a wild looking sun. For sure. Okay, here we go. I'm almost done. In fact, okay, it's up. It is up. You guys are behind the scenes. I'm making a banner right now for the Medusa, my nickname, my hair curly. Okay, well, you're going to see something here in a minute. It's a photo of the sun that looks pretty wild. I got to be honest. It looks pretty wild. It's just the way I received it. So I'm going to use it as a as a thumbnail, you know, I have to pick something for a thumbnail. As long as it's relevant to the video, and it is. I used this material in the video that was sent in by a young lady out of Panama City Beach. Now I got to adjust the size. There's a lot of steps to this because not just any size will work. Usually has to be below 1,000. So I'm adjusting the size so it'll fit. And you're going to see here in just a minute, it's a version of this weird version of the sun. Okay, I got to adjust the height now because the height is too small. There we go. There we adjusted the height. Let's see if this will fit. Getting close. I got to adjust it a little bit more. Got to take it in a little bit. 905 and make it a little bit taller. 510. Let's see if that'll work. That'll work. Okay, here we go. Where are we at? Today's the 14th, 214. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, this photo that you're going to see in this upcoming video, I haven't done anything to it except right here. I just changed the size. That's all I did. And I'll show you something else you're going to see in this video. Okay, almost done. I'm going to keep doing the live, guys, after I upload the video, but you'll be able to see it here in just a moment. It's almost done. I like to have them up before 5 o'clock at the latest. That's just my schedule that I like to do. I don't like to upload videos personally after 5. It's just my schedule, that's all. So I'm getting close. Yep, put the time in, and there we go. There's that. There's that. There's that. And there is that. Okay, so I'm wondering. Okay. I'm wondering if you're getting notified. Okay, I'm done. All done. Who's got the first comment? Quinn B. All right. I was going to do a poll, and I don't see the option to do a poll. Let me look and see. Hold on, I'm not going anywhere. Let me just look and see. Nope, no option there. What's going on, guys? Terry Washington, Star family member. What's up, Terry? You just got notified? Good, good. I'm glad. That's awesome. So you saw behind the scenes where I made the banner, I edited the video. Thank you, Terry. I edited the video, I edited part of the video. See that picture, goblins? Isn't that wild? I didn't do anything to that photo. That's how I received the photo. Carlos Skywatcher, all right. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for the cool sun videos. Carlos is the best. Someone, Carlos is the sunset expert. He's taken more sunsets probably than anybody in the world, sunset videos, and he can zoom right in on the sunspots. These aren't sunspots behind me, but Carlos knows how to get the job done, don't you, Carlos? Very good. And you guys will see in this video that I uploaded, whenever you decide to watch it, there's a rainbow in it that's black. What? Yeah, black. I mean, I've seen dark rainbows before, but nothing this dark. I mean, it is straight up black. It's almost weird looking, and the gentleman that recorded it, he didn't want to stop recording it. He'd never seen anything like it. Black rainbow. What? A black rainbow. Sun looking like Medusa. Really bizarre. I mean, really bizarre stuff. Yes, sir. What effect does high cosmic rays have on crops? Good question. You know what? We could probably figure it out. Blend all colors together. I don't know. Been learning about general. Please, I have copper. I'm just trying to read some of the comments. The CME can influence earthquakes. You bet. Yeah, you can connect the dots on that pretty easy, you know. Especially historically, look up large earthquakes, and then look up coinciding earthquakes, and you'll find, not every single time, but you will see a pattern. There is a connection. Sorry about that, guys. I was very, very thirsty there, but I'm not anymore. Hey, thanks. Who was that? Jesse Krasuski, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. What do you think of the classified launch today? I don't know. You know, we're only going to get told what they want us to know anyway. So I can only speculate. If I had to guess, I would say that it's some sort of a satellite. I would say it's some sort of a satellite, but I don't know. They could be sending up something to monitor Apophis, you know, things like that. You never know. Hello, Kathy in Northern California. Thanks for stopping by. SDL moderator will be there in the video. Terry Washington, what do you think about the ever-increasing SO2 levels? I know, right? I follow that over here. I'm sure you do too. SO2, you can follow the SO2 levels over there at Null School. Yes, sir. You're right, Terry. Moderator, there's no video, no video, no video. Thank you, Alice. That's very kind. I know it's classified. I would say, honestly, they don't want us to know, so it's probably a satellite of some sort. Probably some sort of a satellite, like we need another one. Hey, Josie Will, like we need another one up there. Somebody was saying that they were doing a study of distant galaxies from a remote observatory. And there's observatories along the coast of Chile near the Atacama Desert. And that's why they built them there, because that's like really one of the best seats in the house for observing the Milky Way galaxy and the night sky in general. And supposedly these Starlink satellite trains are flying in front of these observatories, blocking their view, or at least temporarily interrupting their view as they're monitoring and studying distant galaxies and stars and things like that. So the Earth is swarming with satellites. Another day and 3 a.m. again. Always working. I do work a lot, you know, but I enjoy I enjoy studying the Earth. Guys, I've done this since 2008, maybe slightly prior. I've always got something like this going, monitoring the weather patterns, the jet streams, the CMEs, the sun. When I go from the Earth to the sun, literally like that. I've got one of those going, sometimes both, all the time. And it's been like that for 16 years in my office. Yeah, 16 years. So I've learned a lot over the last 16 years. I've watched you from day one. Nippy in F4L. Ah, thanks. That's really cool. I wish I could send you a picture I have. Cindy Griffith. Hey, Cindy, Star family member. It's a picture of the old Twin Tower. They've rounded it, become a pole for electricity. Okay, that's cool. You're welcome. My pleasure, Alice. It really is. I I watch this stuff every day anyway. And you know what? For years, my wife would see me drawn to the earth and the sun and earthquake activity, and I'm trying to understand all this stuff, and I'm looking for patterns. I'm following the energy around the earth on seismographs, just doing all kinds of different things. I'm studying the effects of coronal holes on humans, you and me, seeing if, okay, does that affect us, And I learned it does. Yeah, I learned it does. Is it nefarious? No, not necessarily. But it could be, like I said, keep you from sleeping good, maybe put you in a mood and you don't know why. Maybe it puts you in a great mood. Everybody's different. Nobody's wired exactly the same. So maybe it makes you sleep really good. Maybe it makes you sleep not so good. Me personally, these things tend to interrupt my sleep. I saw somebody right there. Did you see that? That black rainbow? Did you see that? Black rainbow praying and prepping. Isn't that cool? A black rainbow. What? Yeah, I'm telling you. That's why I put in there, could a CME cause that? Because we've got this going on right here behind me. That's interacting with the earth and everybody on the earth and every living creature on the earth. Could it affect the rainbow? I'm just asking, that's all, because I've never seen a black rainbow, but we had a big, profound rainbow right in the middle of this ongoing radiation storm. So could the ionized radiation, hey, what's up, Polenta R Forest? Could the ionized radiation, if it got down this low, which I don't think it did, but maybe some component of it did, and maybe it affected the rainbow, making it look blacker than it normally ever is. I mean, this thing's straight up black. I've been sleeping like a baby lately, normally an insomniac. Well, then maybe you take down a little note. You've been sleeping good during this ongoing. There's been a radiation storm. The Earth has been just engulfed in charged particles and protons for the last 3 days, 72 hours. So if you've slept really good these last 72 hours, maybe that neutralizes some sort of an energy that normally makes you in a insomnia type of a way. Maybe it neutralizes that energy and helps you sleep. Just make a note, that's all. And what you want to do, like I did when I was a planet hunter, I used to be a planet hunter, and we would have to take notes because we looked for patterns. And when we'd see 3 patterns in a row, we knew it wasn't a coincidence. There was something there. 3 dims. When the light would dim, dim, and dim 3 times, then it wasn't a coincidence. If you make a note of how you're sleeping during this proton storm, right here it is. It's kind of out of focus, but maybe it helps you sleep. And other people, it may keep them up. Maybe, it interferes with their sleep. And maybe some people, it doesn't affect at all. Maybe some people, it doesn't affect at all. But I will say I'm more sensitive to frequencies. Yeah, everything's frequencies. Literally, everything marches to the beat of a different drum. The drum being the frequency. That's what prompted me to do the study on this. Not that one. This one. That's what prompted me, because I understood that there was a different frequency coming out of a coronal hole. Coronal hole was just pure unfiltered star energy right off the surface of the sun. Everything else is coming from behind here. That's all got like multiple layers of the sun. Yes, powerful migraines. I do, must be my research in my younger days. That's cool. But I studied the energy of the coronal holes. And yes, there is a connection of the energy from coronal holes. That's what inspired me. Was I was wanting to know how that energy coming out of the dark patch on the sun affected us. That's where I started studying that and learned that there is indeed a connection. But here's what it involved. It involves, okay, there's male and female. I just did the study, obviously, on humans. And male chromosome, the female chromosome. And then your age, and then your blood type. There's so many variables. I'm check marking all these variables, and the list is like this long, and I'm like, that's just for one person. So I just minimized the list, and I just went to because you could do an in-depth study and have a fully cognitive understanding of how certain types of coronal holes affect people with a certain type of blood type, whether they're male or female between the age of 30 and 40, 40 and 50, 50, 60, whatever. But you could have a specific category for all of those numerical variables: the age, what they had to eat that day, where they live. Like Arizona, there's a lot of copper in the ground out here in Arizona. Some areas, like out in the Northeast, there's a lot of granite in the ground. So the Earth is going to behave differently to different types of energies and stuff depending on where you live. Absolutely, it will. So that's going to affect how this energy, affects you. What's in the ground where you live? Is there a lot of copper? Is there a lot of iron ore? Is there a lot of granite? Maybe a combination of all the above. There are so many things. It's a list a mile long. So what I did, I just kind of reduced the list and said, hey, did you notice any changes? Instead of trying to put a category for every one of those possible variables, because the list, like I said, is almost infinite. Blood type, chromosome, male, female, where you live, what you had to eat that day. Did you eat something that was high in potassium? Maybe something that had a lot of iron. It just goes on and on and on. So we just stuck to, your emotions and your emotional state. Did you notice a change? Hey, Matt Kelly, you've seen changes in your pets. There you go. Great observation, Mac. Yeah. We don't have a lot of pets, but that's true. Great observation. Absolutely. Pets are sensitive to these energies too. You bet they are, because they have a central nervous system. So absolutely, they're sensitive to this. Great observation, Mac. I just came from the Black Rainbow video. Wasn't that thing dark, Linda? Wow. I'm telling you, I've never seen one quite like that. And I've edited a lot of videos in my day. Deborah Bedingfield, Star family member. I've been feeling tired today. Deborah, I'm going to be honest. Me too. Me too. I've been tired today. In fact, I was sitting right here, because I always keep it real with you guys. Like I said earlier, I just tell the truth. Truth always stays the same. I was sitting right here in this very chair. I slept good last night. I woke up at about the normal time. I will say this though, I woke up twice last night. I woke up at 12:21 and I woke up at 2:20. But I did go back to sleep. But something woke me up at 12:21 and 2:20. So my sleep last night was interrupted. So did I sleep great? Not really. But I slept okay. But I was sitting right here. I was actually tired, and I'm not a napper. When I'm up, and it's on. And it stays on as far as me working and monitoring the sun and going through Dropbox and email and editing videos. You just saw me edit a video. That's part of my day. And then another part of my day is the videos that you guys share with me. I edit those too. And right now I'm looking at ones I'm going to use here soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I've already edited. And these are small videos. Hey, Donna, nothing worse than broken sleep. Man, I'm telling you, because I was sitting here today like this. I'm like, okay, I'm getting really tired and I don't know why. But I knew why. I took notes, I didn't sleep the best last night. Did I get enough sleep? Yeah, I got enough sleep, but it wasn't, continuous. It was interrupted. And you know how it is. You get interrupted sleep and you're just kind of tired. Opinions are the sun maximum and the comet eclipse. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that comet eclipse. Mac, that comet eclipse is going to be an eclipse of a lifetime, of a generation. It's going to be talked about for hundreds of years. It's going to go down in history books forever. I truly believe that. It is something highly unique that will be talked about forever. I believe that. So, yeah. And the CMEs, they're going to continue. They're only going to increase. Looking at the planetary K index now, I'm seeing a spike in the planetary K. So We've been waiting on this CME for, it seems like, a year, multiple CMEs. Sometimes these things go under the earth. It depends on the angle, you know. The sun's round, the earth's round. If the CME could go under the earth, maybe above the earth. I've seen go beside the earth. What's up, Scott? How you doing? You still looking for the comet? Good for you. If you find it, share a picture. I got the telescope over there. I think it's out of my field of view right now. So I'm going to wait for the eclipse, but that will be, oh wow. Thank you, Mrs. Handy RU. That is so kind. We got to set up that live stream. Got your message last night. You're welcome. Thank you. And we're going to do the live stream soon. Okay, real soon here, probably within the week, Mrs. Handy RU. So I'm gonna wait for the comet during the eclipse, and we're going to do a live stream from the path of totality, 100% totality. So don't know exactly where yet because I don't know the forecast where there's going to be the least amount of clouds, preferably none. You know, I don't want any clouds. But yeah, I think that's going to be, it's going to be an event that's going to go down in history books forever. I really and truly do. So I want to see it. I want to see it up close. I'll not see the eclipse here in Scotland, but I'm super excited for you guys to see this amazing event. Donna, we're going to bring it to you live. If not, we're going to have an exceptional video of the eclipse, of the comet. We're going to do our very best. I want to get to this location early so I can experiment with the equipment, make sure the equipment all works good. I want it to be flawless. I don't want a bunch of glitches and the equipment not working, you know, during the eclipse. So it's important that we get to the location, experiment with the equipment, make sure it's going to perform as it's supposed to, and then go from there. I also want to record the comet just by itself. So I want a camera on the comet, and then I want obviously the live stream on the eclipse and the comet too. So comet is inbound. I watch it and check it every day. It is still on course. It has not changed a bit. I'm looking at it right here, other than it's getting a little bit closer. It gets a little closer each day. I call it the ancient time traveler, and it's still on course. Comet 12P Pons Brooks. It's right there. Yeah, it's so incredibly mind-boggling to me that this thing has been traveling for so long, and it's going to be at perihelion during a solar eclipse. This is like a script for a movie, you know what I mean? I don't really watch movies, but this is like a script for some movie. I'm sure somebody's putting together a movie about this. This is really wild, guys. No joke. And not only is it a comet, it's a volcanic, icy comet. An icy volcano. You'll be able to see it on April the 8th, and you can see it here on this YouTube channel. So subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do my very best to bring it to you live, the entire event from start to finish. And then have a separate video to edit and get close-ups of the comet. That's one thing I want to do. It's one thing to be able to record the comet, but if I overcompensate and try to over-zoom during the event, it can become oversaturated and maybe out of focus. So I want to keep the camera that I'm going to use for just the comet at a constant. I don't want to be varying because when you're focusing on light like that, and then it's going to be turning from daylight to darkness, and then the saturation is going to expand and contract, I want to focus on the comet and just leave it right there and then zoom in later. And that's what sometimes I recommend to people when you're filming something in the sky, you don't know what it is, don't over zoom. Because if you over zoom, it's next to impossible to take out the out of focus aspect of the video. Because if you over zoom, especially on a high contrast video where you're filming a bright light against a very dark black sky, it's obviously going to go out of focus. So just kind of keep a good distance to where it stays clear and focused, and we can always zoom in later. Just remember, we can always zoom later. So keep it in focus, zoom later. And I know sometimes it's hard to because you're curious. You're like, what is that thing? So you want to zoom as close as you can. I get it. I've been there. I've done that. And my video got screwed up. So I learned just don't zoom until you're done, and then put it on your computer. Send it to me. I'll zoom in on it. I'll convert it to 4K for you, and we'll get a good view of it. So yeah, don't over zoom when you see something very unique in the sky. Just film it, maybe go in to the point where it starts to go out of focus, and then back up, and then just stay right there, and don't over zoom, and you'll have a beautiful video that's manageable, that you can work with, that you can zoom in on, and you'll still have good clarity. You won't be over pixelated. So that's my goal with the Comet. I'm gonna have a camera on it. I'm looking at a 2,000 millimeter lens. I'm gonna try to get one just for the Comet, maybe 3,000 millimeter. And then obviously I got a tripod right over there. That's no problem. Got the tripod. I've got most of the equipment. I'm gonna have to get a couple of things, but I got it. And then I'm gonna just focus on the Comet as it reveals itself, and then I'm gonna edit it later. I'm not gonna over zoom, even though I'll want to. I'm just not. I'm not gonna over zoom. So don't over zoom, because you can't fix out of focus, especially if it's too out of focus. You can't fix it. But if you just stay back, isn't that rainbow wild? Have you ever seen a black rainbow? Are you serious? I've seen some that were dark and very photogenic, yeah. But not like that, not like what Jesse saw. And that's why Jesse, that video, he took, I think, almost 4 minutes of video footage. Unbelievable. I mean, he was like, what is going on here? So yeah, and I condensed the video for presentation purposes. In fact, part of that video was in fast forward of the black rainbow. But it was definitely black, yes. And that's why he was so drawn to it as they were driving down the road. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I blamed it on the CME. My kids are headed up to Plattsburgh to see it from school that day. Nice, good, that is awesome. The class is paying attention. That is right on cool. Black rainbow in Spokane. Pros and cons. Just trying to read from some of the rainbow. Kendra, that rainbow was cool. I agree. That was really neat. Jesse did a good job recording that thing. Wow. But he didn't say where he was at. That was the only thing. If you noticed in the video, that's why I emphasize, if you do send something to the Dropbox, and the Dropbox is, you can see it. Yeah, you can. Right there. This is the homepage of the website, MrMBB333.com. Right here it is. That red banner right there. That's the Dropbox. In fact, I'll show you the Dropbox. Here's what it looks like. There it is. So when you send me something, there it is right there. There's the Dropbox. That's what I go to every morning. So if you send me something in the Dropbox, which is on the homepage of the website, and you can send large videos, lots of pictures, please include your first name, date, and location. And I'll take it from there. I'll put it over in the editor, and I'll work on it to the very best of my ability. But it's right here. Have a large video right there. Just click on that. That is a Dropbox, and it's very simple. Just drag and drop your videos, your photos in there. Please include your first name, date, and location. And as I say in the video, I'll take it from there. I literally do. And what I do is I download it from over here. I review it over here at this station. That's a station. It's a workstation. Here's the videos that I've gotten in the last 24 hours right here. Right here. And that black rainbow's in there somewhere. Yeah, right in there. And that's where I review them at. I look at them right there. In fact, I'll show you one. We'll just click on one. This is one that was sent in by Jesse. This is this looks like a sun orbiting satellite. Not sure which one. That's either the stereo A or the stereo B. Oh, thank you, Mustang 68. But this is what I do. I'm just showing you kind of behind the scenes This is just what I do whenever. I'm not going to show you that one because that was not a real. It was a real video, but the content of that particular video was not real, so I'm not going to share it. I don't share stuff that is is fake. I did put up a video of the moon coming up over the horizon, looked really big, and I said in the comment section, what would you do if you saw that? I was just having a little fun because the graphics were really neat, but I didn't try to imply that that was real. Of course not. But these are the things that I get in the Dropbox. This was kind of cool. I don't know what's going on here. You can see some things kind of dancing around here in the clouds. This is the Dropbox. So when you go to the homepage of the website and you put something in the Dropbox, right here's where it goes. And this is how I review it right here. And some of the stuff, obviously, all of the stuff I can't use for videos. Something like some of the stuff is just not usable. Like right here, that's a picture. In fact, you saw that in this last video. If you watched the last video, this is what you saw. That right there, see it? There it is. That's what you saw in the last video. That's Spokane, Washington, right there. It's that simple. That's how I did it. So yeah. So I process the video from there, or take it from there over to here, work on it, and then share it with you guys. And the black rainbow that just came in. Kool-Aid, coronal mass ejection. Yeah, we're going to have more, guys. In fact, let's look at the Earth-facing side of the sun. You want to? Let's do it. Here we go. We're going to take a look at the active regions. There's a bunch, and there's more coming. There you go. There's the Earth-facing side of the sun. Look at all those sunspots in active regions. You can totally tell we're in solar max. And I'm sensitive to solar maximum. I've already shared that with you guys. I'm sensitive to it. Ejection, not elation. Mary D, you are not blocked. Power Rangers. How big is this comet? The comet's about as big as Houston, Texas. About as big as Houston, Texas. About as big as the city. And it's a volcanic comet. Icy volcanic comet. Really wild. Right, but here's a look at the sun right now. These are sunspots, obviously. Let's click on one just to bring it in a little tighter. Look at that big unit right there. You serious? And there's another one coming around over here. Yeah, look at that. Right there. That's what's been producing the M-class solar flares. And it's capable of producing X-class solar flares. The original 050, hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button if you like it. We have a whopper of a region. Yeah, we do. There's one turning. Mustang 68. I live in Austin, Texas. You can have Houston. Okay. Yeah, that is a big, the Earth would fit inside that right there, just so you know, right there, quite easily, in fact. There's a region up here, if you can see it, yeah. Oh, there it is, right there. Oh, right on, look, see it? Yeah. There's the new one coming around. That's what's turning towards the Earth right there. It's a big old sunspot. So that's new, so we'll be able to see more of that tomorrow. Big sunspot coming around the bend, guys. Carlos Skywatcher. Carlos is on these sunspots. Carlos has got a nice setup. He can zoom in right on that. And Carlos will probably share a video of that right there. That's a big sunspot. The Earth could fit inside that. That's how big that is. Absolutely. This is the office. This is where I hang out, guys. This is where I do research and edit videos and study the Schumann, study the effects of coronal mass ejections. Now we're going to be, a CME should be affect Hans Brooks. Yeah, absolutely it will. Just the solar wind, basic solar wind from the sun, it will affect it. You're exactly right, Mac. Really big positive. Oh, you want to see the negative? Smart guy there, Terry. You bet. You want to see them? Let's look. Terry knows. That's what creates solar flares. You want to see the polarities? Okay, here we go. These polarities are positive and negative. I think the blue is negative and the red's positive. It's when they touch. These are far enough apart to where they're not going to touch. When those negative and positive regions touch, they collide, creates a solar flare. That sometimes creates a CME that comes off the surface of the sun. But you've got these magnetically the positive, negative. They're not touching each other. So those won't be producing any type of solar flares because they have to touch. And that's showing you your polarities. So if you want to know, that's kind of how you predict weather. Weathermen know what to look for. People that are predicting space weather, they know what to look for. And you just simply got to look for these colors here. If you see them real close together, it looks like they're about ready to touch, then you know probably within the next 6 to 8 hours, maybe less, there'll be a solar flare of some size. Can you share the Schumann readings? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go back to the website, which is right here. And the Schumann, I left it green, which is right here. It's underneath the moon. We'll click on it. And there's the most recent Schumann. Up here is the last 24 hours, up here at the top. There's the last 48 hours. There's the last 72 hours. 96 hours. Going back 120. 5 days ago, you can see it was very, very active. And people are sensitive to that. Yes, people are sensitive to that. You can maybe feel a mood swing change or, and no, yeah, seriously, nothing, 5 days. Relatively quiet. People are sensitive to that too when there's an absence of energy, yeah. But look right here. But what people are probably feeling right now is the solar storms. The Earth has been swarmed in activity. Check it out. I'll show you. This is what you're feeling. If I had to take a wild guess, and this really isn't so wild, it's a kind of an educated guess. This is the southern portion of the Earth. Normally this is not on this animated graph. This is normally not red. Red is telling us it is absorbing energy from the sun. The north and south poles. And that's what it's supposed to do when this energy collides with the Earth, and it does collide with the Earth. It's distributed to the north and to the south, just like that. And that's what it's doing. The ionosphere is doing its job. That's why we're seeing this basically kind of glow and the northern regions of the Earth glow. That creates interference with telecommunications, radio blackouts. So if it can interfere with radio blackouts in the ionosphere, then it could certainly interfere with humans and our neurological system and things like that if the energy gets down that far. But a lot of it is absorbed into the Earth and it goes down to the polar regions, either north or south. But that's what people have been feeling. The Earth has been swarmed with that for 3 days. 3 days. Right there. There you go. So if you're wondering why you've maybe been kind of out of sorts, maybe in I don't know, just kind of tired and lethargic, take a look at what your Earth is dealing with. And maybe that'll, explain it. And just know, and keep a journal. And notice, when does this pass? When it's cleared out and everything looks back to normal. And when it's cleared out, what I mean by that, everything on here will be like this right here. This is the daylight side of the Earth. That's what you're seeing right here. And you'll see this move from right to left. That's the sun. That's the daylight side of the Earth. That's always there. This down here in the polar regions is not. But this is always here, and this is the nighttime side of the Earth. Very simple. Nighttime side of the Earth, daytime side of the Earth. when that goes away, see how you feel. See if you get back to your old self. You know, it's like, oh, I feel, you know, chipper today. Got a good night's sleep. You know, I'm back to my old self. You know, I'm not out of sorts and things like that. Years ago, my wife and I were snow skiing high in Austria Alps, and we were sick from solar storm. Next day, sunburnt. You betcha. You know what, Mustang 68, the UV where you were at up in the Austria Alps was much higher than you were used to too. You were exposed to higher levels of ultraviolet radiation. Yes. The higher up you go in the elevations, the more UV. That's a fact. I took my instruments, well, they're over there in the closet, because I don't necessarily measure in the wintertime because the sun angle's so low. When the sun angle gets up, UV is much higher up in the mountains. I took my instruments that measure UVA-B and UVC. I took the instruments to Flagstaff at just over 7,000 feet. And I took measurements in Flagstaff of the UV, and the UV was exponentially higher up in Flagstaff at 7,000 feet consistently. It was over 14. And down here in the valley, the UV, this was in the summer, no, it was in the wintertime. The UV was, I don't know, 7 or 8. It was double, almost double up in the elevations. So UV is higher in the mountains. And that's more than likely what you were exposed to, Mustang 68, my friend. Yes, sir. You're exactly right. Moderator. Yeah, moderator. Moderator deals with the ear ringing. Man, we ended up recovering in the bar. That's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, it can be rough. Absolutely. Anybody else deal with the? Thank you, Nick Black. Anybody else deal with the ringing in the ears? I just want. There's channel 333. Oh, you just sent to the Dropbox? Channel 333. I can look. I'll look right now. You guys are seeing behind the scenes. This is what we do right here. I'm just refreshing the Dropbox. Okay, is channel 333 Angela? Is that you, Angela? There it is. This is what was just sent in. Oh, there's, okay, I just asked a question real quick. I don't mean to anybody else experiencing the ears ringing? See, Matt Kelly, ears have been ringing the past 2 days. It's not unusual for him. Okay, channel 333, no. Okay, gotcha. I got more, and I can tell there's some new ones. Carlos Skywatcher, I think this is Carlos. Yeah, this is Carlos. I just mentioned I was bragging about how good Carlos is at filming the sun, and this is a video that Carlos just sent in of the sun, and we'll look at this later. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate that, buddy. Tanya Madison. No? Okay. Wait a minute. Because these are ones that I just got. It says channel. Okay, gotcha. Look here. Let me ask you this. Is it an old video? Because this thing, okay, I can hear clearly now. My ears are ringing. Yeah, I was just doing a little survey, and oh, thank you. Thank you, Jen X. That's very kind. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was asking people because my moderator deals with a ongoing, and it's perpetual. Sometimes it's more intense than others. Ear ringing. Does anybody else experience ear ringing? JB, yeah, ear ringing. Photo of rainbow crown on face. Okay, let me check that out, channel 333. I still got stuff coming in. I'm sure it's over here. I will find it. I'll find it. Promise. But sometimes this Dropbox, how do I want to put it? It files things in the date that they were taken. So if you send me a video that was taken in January, I'll have to go back into the January file to find that video. Otherwise, I don't even know it's in there. But I'll find it, I promise. In fact, it's just a matter of me configuring this Dropbox to put the most recent polenta or forest ears ringing, other high-pitched sounds. Okay, February 20, that's where it's at. It's February 2021. I'll find it though. Thank you for sharing. I'll find it. Thank you for letting me know that, because I would have never found it if I hadn't have known it was in 2021. I just have to reconfigure this Dropbox to put the most recent video. I don't care what year it is. I want the most recent post in that order. I don't want to have to go back to 2021. That's not your fault. That's just how this Dropbox is. But I can fix that. That's an easy fix. And I will find your rainbow. Thank you so much. Ringing in the ears. Anybody else dealing with ringing in the ears? High-pitched noise, ringing, and downloads. Philip Washington, mine are ringing now 4 days. I wish it would stop. So Philip Washington, I'm sorry, Philip, that you're dealing with that. Reiki MB333, I have tinnitus, and binaural beats help. Okay, thank you, Cat Master. Appreciate that. You see that, moderator? Binaural beats, but they have tinnitus. I don't know if that's what's going on, but it's sad, you know. My moderator does deal with this constant ringing in the ears, and they ask me, you know, what's going on with the sun today? Is it the Schumann? Is something going on? Trying to make a positive connection as to what's causing this ringing in their ears. Hello, Melissa from Edmonton, Alberta. Bryceon, constant ringing. And you know what? Cindy's new NZ, like I tell my moderator, the sound of silence has changed. And people that have ringing of the ears, and again, this is just another one of my theories, but I think the sound of silence has changed. People that have this constant ringing in the ears are sensitive to the new silence. The sound of silence has changed. And I think, again, this is just a theory, I think part of it could be the very fact that none of us, no matter how old we are, have ever lived in an environment with so many of these 5G towers. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. L&M, I sent you a photo in January when I was flying and saw the shadow of the plane in the cloud with the rainbow circle. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, ma'am, I got that. Turn on a small fan. You know what, Mac? I have a small fan going on right over there. Stays on the whole time I'm in the office. And you know why I have that small fan on? Because it drowns out any other noise I may hear somewhere else. But I don't necessarily hear that. You're right, I do the same thing, Ed Mac. Even our dogs have been howling lately. Vicky Scheninger, Jesse Scroggins. I've sent a few to the Dropbox. Don't think you've gotten them. I'll check, Jesse. If they're a different date, sometimes this Dropbox will put them in the date that your video may have been. And I'm looking at the most recent, like the one I just got. Here's the last one I just got. It's right behind me. Angela. Angela sent this. Right there. Out of Atlanta, Georgia. Let me refresh this. But I will find it because I know that they're in there. And what I'm going to do is reconfigure this Dropbox so that it puts the most recent sent in instead of by date. And we'll get that straightened out. Now I'll get them all. I'll get every single one of them, you bet. Every single one. They're in here, trust me. I just got to find them. Here we go. This was just sent in by Josh. Check it out. My first time seeing it. Right. This is out of Tennessee, whatever it was that they saw. Kind of looks like a comet. But guys, I will find your videos now that I know that they're in here. I'll find them, promise. You can rest assured I definitely will. Toppenish, Wisconsin. Sandra, hello, Sandra. Toppenish, Washington. That's a beautiful part of the country. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Philip Wellington. Question everything. Wow, ears rang just now. I'm seeing beats in here being recommended. So, Mac Kelly, not sure if it matters, but last night I was up on every hour. You know what, Mac? Me too. I never do that. Mac, last night I woke up at 12:21, and I looked at the clock. So when I woke up, I'm like, okay, wow, I guess it's time to get up, you know, before I looked at the clock. And I looked over at the clock, and I'm like, 12:21? Are you kidding me? I'm not getting up at 12:21. And I don't know what woke me up because everything was quiet. So I'm like, wow, I mean, I was in a deep sleep. So I did go back to sleep because sometimes when I wake up like that, I have a hard time going back to sleep. So I'll just get up and, you know, it makes for a very long day. So I definitely try to go back to sleep. But I also woke up at 2:20. Woke up at 12:21, 2:20, and then I finally got up at 4:30. So to be honest, I was a little tired today because my sleep last night was so interrupted like yours. So we're probably feeling the same thing, Matt Kelly. KJ24, you will get used to the ringing. It is also adjusting to the new frequency. You're being monitored, and also the spread of red frequency. Yeah, you know, it's, I think tendinitis is just a name for the doctors give because they don't know. Oh, me too, KCS. You were, hey, Jody. Maja 864, yes. Diana Cadre, extremely loud ringing in ears, head, eye pain. Carlos Minor, frequency. I think some of it, guys, I really do. I think some of it, well, I know because of things that I've studied in the past, and this would have been pre-5G towers, when I studied coronal holes on the sun and the effects of those on humans. But I do think that the sound of silence has changed. It has, especially from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there weren't 5G towers. There was the sun. There were solar flares that I was unaware of. I didn't know what a solar flare was. I didn't know what a CME was. I was just a kid. But growing up, I've seen things evolve and change, and I've seen the conception of communications towers just pop up all over the place. And then I've also seen an increase in ringing of the ears. And I think these people that have a certain blood type, certain type of DNA, this would be it would take a small army to understand, you know, how it affects each individual person. But I think these towers, because we're living in these frequencies that are, I mean, they're going all over the place. They're keeping this phone going, these computers, everything's Wi-Fi and wireless, which is incredibly convenient. No doubt about it. It's incredibly convenient. But, you know, I think it might, you know, cause ringing in the ears. I do know that the sun and solar flares and CMEs can affect us all in certain ways. Yeah, 2:20. That's when I woke up last night. Renee, yes, ma'am. Mount George, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you, Rusty. That's very kind, man. 22:21, big time angel time. Yeah, I woke up at 12:21, and then I woke up at 2:20 exactly. That's the number I saw when I looked at the clock. And I used to wake up a lot at 3:33. Yeah, I went through a season of that. That season lasted for years. I would wake up in the middle of the night and maybe lay there for a couple of minutes and then look over at the clock. You've all done that. Or you may wake up and then look right at the clock instantly. I could lay there for a couple of minutes, look at the clock, and it would say 3:33. I could wake up and then just look right away, 3:33. I went through that season for a long time. And then I got to studying 3:33, and the whole story behind that, it involves the passing of my mother, and then that number became a big part of my life, and I associated it with her passing. That's where the 333 comes from. It's very spiritual to me. It has a spiritual meaning. It's not anything nefarious like some people, want to make out. That's the farthest thing from the truth. It really and truly is. It has to do with my mother. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, Terry. Polenta R Forest, that black rainbow, did you see that, Polenta? Yes, thank you, Renee. Very spiritual. It is to me very real. I see that number to this day. 333, walk into the kitchen and glance over at the clock on the oven. 333. Get a receipt from the store and be the 333rd customer, of that day or whatever. Just things that aren't coincidence. After a while, I saw it so many times in just the course of a day, a week, that I knew it couldn't be coincidental. It just couldn't be. And I don't believe it was. Don't believe it was. Thank you, Terry. It's the truth. That's very true. And that story always stays the same because it is the truth. And that's what I tell people. If you just tell the truth, your story will always be the same. It'll never change. I could tell you the story about seeing the ancient flower of life in the sky. Who sees the ancient flower of life in the sky? This guy's got to be crazy. But I could tell you the story, and it'll be the same every single time. And I saw that back in 2007. And the story is the same to this day because it really happened. So if you tell the truth, your story never changes. And the story's still the same. I saw it in the sky. Don't know why. I've never seen one since. I didn't even know what one was when I saw it. I know I was looking up at the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in the sky. Absolutely stunning. But I've never seen one since. I didn't know what I saw until 2009. A young lady by the name of Rose that lived in Georgia. In 2009, I was trying to explain to somebody what I saw in the sky. And I'll never forget, Rose from Georgia. Thank you, Rose, for helping me understand what I saw. She said, "It sounds like to me you're describing the ancient flower of life." And I'm like, what is the ancient flower of life? So I go over and get on my laptop at the time. And I looked, I Googled it, and I'm like, that's what I saw. Sure enough, did. Saw it in the sky. It's very real, looked alive. It was a semi-transparent color of blue. And the reason it was semi-transparent, now that I understand a little bit more about what I saw, it was semi-transparent, probably not meant to be seen. It was a crystal clear blue day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky anywhere. The reason it was blue is because it was a different shade of the color of the sky because it was pure energy. Yes, and it was the shape of the ancient flower of life. I promise it's real. Mustang 68 just sent you an email with the 41 Squadron Black Aces patch. This was Commander's Fravor Squadron back in the day. I flew flew F-15s. Man, that's cool. These guys are still in the F-14 Tomcat. Send them. I love airplanes. Wow, F-15s. Right on. Thank you, Mustang 68. That is too cool. Too cool. Yes, sir. Thank you, Marie. That's a true story. I promise. At the time, I didn't know what I was looking at. I wasn't doing anything. I was just standing out beside the car. The car was parked by the road. We were at a birthday party. And I just stepped outside for a couple of minutes and was just standing by the road by the car. And I just happened to look up because I saw something move. And I knew there wasn't anything in the sky. There were no clouds. There wasn't no airplanes. But I saw something kind of sparkle or twinkle up in the sky, and it went just like that. And it came in like a fish hook, went or dropped straight down, and then it went like that. And I'm like, if you were to hold this right here at arm's length out in front of you like that, that's how big it was in the sky. Hold that out at arm's length just like that. Now keep in mind, this thing's probably, I don't know, 50,000 feet in the sky. But from my point of view, it looked about that big. But it was semi-transparent, and it had the perfect designs in the middle of it. You could see a very distinct ring. It was so perfectly round, and in the middle of the ring, you could see these designs. I didn't know what they were. They were perfect, though. They were perfect designs and just kind of glistened. It was just sitting there, just glistening. And slowly, very slowly, drifting from west to east would be my right to left. And I'm like, what is happening here? Coolest thing I've ever seen in the sky. Easy. And I've never seen one since. But once I understood what it was, yeah, it was that big. If you held that out at arm's length up into the sky at about 40, 50,000 feet, I suppose. Yeah, it was pretty good size. It was easy to see once you saw it. Easy to see. Very easy. In fact, it might have been a little bit bigger. I just grabbed that off my desk. This is sitting here on my desk. That's close, you know. But to be perfectly honest, it was probably a little bit bigger. And I've never seen one again. Wasn't looking then. I was just standing there minding my own business. Odd question. Do I play Fortnite Slay? No, I don't. But I know somebody that does. Yeah. My son. Today is the, let me see, 1119th days of 46. No wonder we had news. I see 1144 or 1114 all the time. Well, it means something, Justin. That's not a coincidence, my friend. There is no such thing as coincidence. The flower of life and the watches those guys have on ancient stones. And you know, like I told somebody, I said the people that originally, and from what I can understand, it dates back to ancient Egypt. The people that were originally inspired to draw those ancient flower of life, it goes back to sacred geometry in ancient Egypt. If I had to speculate, I would say they saw them in the sky too. They were probably just more, there were more of them. Be my guess. Be my guess. That something inspired them to draw those beautiful, you know, geometrical features of the sacred geometry. They are absolutely beautiful. And this, what I saw, was absolutely beautiful. 1,000,000% real. Looked alive. Looked like a biological cell underneath a microscope. No joke. Looked alive. And this thing could have done whatever it wanted to do. And when it departed, oh, thank you, Fusion F9. I just joined. I'm an Earth Watchman, Fusion. Thank you so much. Whoops. I study the Earth, the sun. I do reports, daily reports on various sky phenomena, things that people see from all around the world. I have people share really cool photos with me of things in the sky, in the nighttime sky, in the daytime sky, videos. We follow the sun and how the sun affects us as humans. Follow just a variety of things that are associated with planet Earth and the sun. We keep an eye on everything. And just because I don't talk about a certain subject doesn't mean I'm not keeping an eye on things. I have a map over here on my desk that or on this computer that's on all the time right here. And I have been a member of this since 2007. Still to this day, I'm a member, and I can see all the priority events that we can know about that are going on around the world right now, and it updates every 5 minutes. So I've been doing that since 2007. 2007. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just fascinated by the earth and the sun and creation and all that. So, and it's a genuine fascination. It really and truly is. But yeah, my moderator deals with that constant ringing in the ears, and we were just kind of, thank you, Channel 333. I uploaded the Rainbow Crown one. Lord Dreg, thank you, Lord Dreg. I'm going to do a poll here in a minute if I could find it. Where's the poll thing at? I want to do a poll. Thank you, Lord Dreg. Did you receive the face in the sky photo I sent you by Owl I Hold Sacred that was above my home? I used Adobe Light Room to enhance it only. Earth Watchman, UFO content. There you go. My moderator put up what I do. And I am an Earth Watchman. I have been for a long time. Lord Dreg, let me take a look. Channel 333, let me take a look. It's right over here. The drop box is over here, no joke. Right. That's actually behind me on the screen. Watch, it'll come up. There it is. See it, Channel 333? Look. Ta-da. There you are. Thank you. Holy moly. Satan behind the moon. Windsor, Ontario. Thank you, Channel 333. I'll take a closer look at it. There's something up there. You are right. Good job. Let's check out some more. Here's another photo. Channel 333. Look at that. Got something going on up there. Windsor, Ontario. Thank you, Channel 333. Good job. I'm telling you, you guys don't miss a trick. You guys send me some of the most amazing things. But I got to be honest, nothing has ever topped the ancient flower of life. I've never seen anything like that. I don't think I'll ever see anything like that again. Channel 333 spotted a rainbow in the sky. How about that? See it right there? That's cool. Good observation. Good for you. I know that was kind of creepy looking. There's Mama Jean. Good evening, Mama Jean. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, thank you, Terry Washington. There's my moderator, MrMBB video. He just done editing, leave, and go live. Release the video, and you will see what. Yeah, I just posted a video. In fact, in the live stream, I edited the video. You guys were with me when I did the editing part, not the narrating part. Maybe sometime I'll have the live on, and you can hang out whenever I narrate. I narrate using this right here. That's where it stays, right there. I don't know if I can do that. It might. Mama Jean, glad to make you live. Did you just get notified, Mama Jean? Or did you get notified? Oh, thank you, Terry. Storms Radio. My balance has been off since yesterday. I feel good otherwise. Oh, thank you, Mama Jean. Thanks for sharing. And we were talking about if people were sensitive to the energy of the CME and like the radiation storm that has been surrounding the Earth for the last few days. You know, I did a study many years ago, well, not many, about 10 years ago, about the effects of coronal hole energy that comes off the surface of the sun in humans. And I did find a connection, but it's so in depth, you know, to find out how it affects a specific person. You have to, this is something that I set out to do. And I had a piece of notebook paper, and I had down, you know, all the people that were participating in my study, and whether they were male or female, you know, their age, and believe it or not, where they lived. All of these things had to be taken into consideration. There were so many things that had to be taken into consideration. In order to do it correctly, I would need a small army But I did find out that, yes, humans are sensitive to this right here. This energy here, this is the energy from solar storms surrounding the Earth right here. The Earth was consumed by a big cloud of energetic particles and protons. And right here's proof of it. This is an animated graph showing the Earth. This is the night side part of the Earth. This is the daylight side of the Earth. This red normally isn't here or here. Shows the Earth has been just consumed with energy that's normally not there. So we're going to feel a certain way. Like nosebleeds and headaches is what you get. People, and it affects everybody differently because we're all different, you know. So it can't affect us all the same way. We might have similar things. Spiritual warfare is real, very true. Like, for instance, last night my sleep was interrupted, and there were some other folks, Mac, in the comment section, and some others said that last night their sleep was interrupted too. And I woke up twice, and like for me to wake up at 12:21 was totally unusual. I never wake up that early. I mean, yeah, I may wake up at 2, like all of you guys. That's not uncommon. But last night I woke up twice. Woke up at 12:21 and 2:20. And I'm glad I went back to sleep because there had been nights. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was during some type of a solar storm, X-flare, geomagnetic storm. I personally am sensitive to solar maximum, absolutely. Just little things like my sleep will get interrupted, maybe get a little fatigued here and there, but nothing, you know, catastrophic. We all deal with things like that. But last night, and we are in the middle of a, you know, proton storm, I woke up twice, you know, 12:21 and 2:20, and it makes for a long day when your sleep's interrupted. You all know that. And my day has been kind of like that, you know. I've been busy and on the ball and doing my normal things, but got to be honest, I've been a little tired today. Been a little tired. But nothing we can't work through. Yeah. If you guys want to check out the website, it's right here. This is my moderator's talking about the website. The website's right here. I feature a photo every day. Today's feature photo was sent in by Diane out of Queen Creek, Arizona. If you send in a photo, I put up 365 a year, one a day. And I'll use one and put it up on the homepage of the website, and I'll leave it up there for 24 hours. I change it every day around noon. I update any pertinent numbers on here. Solar Cycle 25 has produced 21 X-class solar flares right now. You'll see a whole variety of information on there. And all of that information I put on there, that took years to assemble because I assembled it as I learned. And I learned new things about life and people and how the sun affects us, and the moon's on there too. The earth and, you know, geomagnetics and electromagnetics and all that stuff, that all affects us. But there's another component to our life that it's not on here, and I do think that these towers that are all over the place, I think they play a role in our lives too. I do. It is what it is. You know, those cell phone towers make life you know, incredibly convenient. I mean, you can do anything from these phones. But I don't know. I think some people may be sensitive to them. Mrs. Handy, are you, Mr. B333 in simple German 269? You need to realize who I am. Okay. Okay, thanks, but the sarcasm is not necessary. Okay, 5G. Hi from Nova Scotia. Hey, Nova Scotia. Jeffrey, what's up? Jeffrey, anyone else have their pets acting up? And that was someone else that brought that up in the conversation earlier, that they noticed that their pets were behaving differently the last couple of days than they normally do. And if you keep a journal, you know how many journals I have? I have like 100 journals, 100 every day. Every day, right there. Every day. So I say I'm keeping an eye on this earth, rest assured I am. Yeah, I really do. I don't share everything in here, but that's one of many of different things, you know. So you can connect dots and you can learn things on your own. Sure you can. I've measured the sun angle. I've, you know, cut a piece of pipe and dedicated a spot out on the back patio that had a clear view of the sky and the sun, and I measured the sun angle. You measure the shadow. You measure the shadow when it was at its deepest point on December 21st, and then when it was at its highest point on June 23rd, right around in there, and I watched how far it changed. And you can tell by, okay, we can look in the sky and we can assume sometimes that, oh, the sun is too far south. Well, it may look too far south, but you got to prove it. The shadows and light never lie. So I measured with the shadow, and it came out to like 34 point, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, whatever. That's the peak my shadow got, and I marked it on the concrete, you know. Every day I would measure it, and the sun was not farther south because I did it 2 years in a row. So I've done all kinds of experiments like that I've never even really talked about. But I had to confirm it for myself before I could talk about these things. And, you know, I have done the science and I have done the experiments and I have studied the sun with multiple layers of solar filters, not just one, two. And when you double stack glass and you image the sun, if your stack isn't just right, you'll see infinite suns in your video or your photos. And hey, Chelsea, hello, Michael, and everyone. Finally caught your live. Good to see you all. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I've done a lot of experiments like that because I wanted to learn myself. Yeah, my son and I did an experiment one time. We took a thick piece of white cardboard, about a 1/4 inch thick, and we taped on the cardboard a box of crayons from the lightest color all the way through to the darkest color. I don't know, it ended up being about 22 inches wide of colors, the whole color spectrum, from white all the way through to black. And we just taped them on with clear Scotch tape. And then we took the cardboard and wrote the time on it and the date, and I think it was an experiment for his school. And we set it out on the back patio in the direct sunlight. And we chose a day that there were no clouds. And it was in the summertime, and it was indeed hot. But it was the direct sunlight that caused these crayons to start melting. And I recorded the whole thing. I had to end up putting an umbrella over the camera to keep the camera on because the camera was overheating. Because it took about 45 minutes to an hour before the crayon started to melt and go from a solid to a liquid. And you use a white piece of cardboard because it really shows the colors that stand out and which ones melt first and which ones melt last. And you guys, being the smart people that you are, you know which ones melted first, the darker colors, because they absorb more heat and they absorbed heat quicker. So they converted from a solid to a liquid quicker. And you could see on the cardboard, the darker colors started liquefying first, and white stayed up there pretty much the entire time. So if you want protection from the sun when you go outside, wear white. It will reflect the sunlight, and it will keep you cooler, and it will protect you from solar rays. It doesn't absorb heat as much. And did you know that umbrellas, I used to talk about that all the time when I would do UV reports. And I don't do the UV videos all the time, guys, because like right now in the wintertime where I live, oh, your mom was a science teacher, Chelsea? Yeah, they probably did that experiment too. But umbrellas, I used to tell people, carry portable shade, especially in the summertime. And umbrellas were not invented as a way to protect ourselves from rain. They turned into that by just probably convenience. Somebody just grabbed one day because it was raining. But they were She probably did, yeah. I bet she did. It's a cool little experiment, especially out here in the desert. I mean, they actually pretty quickly started to melt, going from a solid to a liquid. But umbrellas were invented for the purpose of portable shade to protect people from sunlight, not rain. And that was like thousands of years ago, maybe 4,000 years ago, I think, or I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I'm just generalizing here, but I did read that. It's been a while since I've read it. I think they were invented in Asia, and that they were invented as a form of portable shade, not for for rain. So yeah, that's why I used to tell people, you know, carry portable shade when you're in the sun in the summertime. Wear long sleeve white shirts. People think you're crazy. That, well, why would you wear a long sleeve white shirt in the summertime? It'll protect you from the sun. It actually keep you cooler. Try it sometime. I have not this one here, but I have a long sleeve. I think they're made of what are they made of? Oh, like this here, long sleeve like nylon polyester shirts, and they're very cool. They're white, and I'll wear those in the summertime, and I stay much cooler. Yeah. Don't wear darker colors in the summertime. Wear bright white. You'll stay cooler. You'll stay a lot cooler. Yeah, don't wear cotton. Wear like a nylon, the type of stuff. I have them hanging over in my closet, but I have 2 long sleeve white shirts, and they keep you really cool. Or at least they help. When it gets up to 110, the best thing to do, like out here in the desert, just stay inside. I don't think people could live in this environment here without machines. I don't think so. It's too hot. I don't think so. Not anymore. It's a very intense heat in the desert anymore. And hi, Mike. I sweat. Yeah, me too. When I go out and do yard work, anyone know anything about the anti-color, something to do with the SDO? I don't know. Vitamin D from the sun. That's what they say. The vitamin D moderator, it's the UV that's the problem. Yeah, the UV there for a while. I don't know. I felt very drawn, and that was another experiment that I did. I've done several, and that was an experiment that I shared. You know, I shared with everybody because I understood the importance of UV and how the UV is filtered by the ozone layer, and the ozone layer is nothing but it's a water molecule with, wait a minute, ozone is part 3, O3. Yeah, it's an oxygen molecule with 3 parts, and O2 is down here at our level, but O3 is up there, and I think there's depleted areas of the ozone. I would love to see the desert. I live in East Tennessee. We see, oh, that's cool. I grew up in the Midwest. I'm no stranger to the cold and the 4 seasons. You hear that? Holy cow, that's close. Loud, or one or the other. That was a loud plane. They usually aren't that loud. Okay. Yeah, if you ever come to the desert, you want to come out here in like March or December. Yeah, Wisconsin's a beautiful part of the country. I grew up in the Central Plains, so I experienced winter, summer, spring, and fall. I know what 10, 15, 17 below feels like. I remember one year, this would have been in, oh my goodness, I don't even remember when. It's a long time ago. It was the coldest spell I remember. There were 2 days in a row. It was in January. I do remember that. Like around January the 10th. There were 2 days in a row where the temperature, I don't know, there was an airplane that flew over Terry. It was really loud. They're usually not that loud. It was either a loud plane far away like an F-15 that Mustang 68 used to fly, or it was a big plane close to the house. I don't know, but it was louder than usual. But there were 2 days in January that it was stayed below zero, well below zero. The high 2 days in a row was negative 17. Negative 17. People's pipes were freezing in their homes. I remember opening the cupboard doors on my kitchen cabinets to let heat get into the cabinets to keep the pipes, you know, it was an attempt to keep the pipes from freezing, and they didn't freeze. But the high 2 days in a row was 17 below zero. My goodness. And then when it did warm up, it finally warmed up on the third day. It warmed up to zero. Zero. And I'm talking Fahrenheit. Which I think zero in Fahrenheit, correct me if I'm wrong, I think is like 32 Celsius. I don't know the conversion ratios, but it was 0 Fahrenheit. It felt like a heat wave. Yeah, we were walking around in t-shirts outside in the sun. January the 10th, went through 2 days of negative 17 for an afternoon high. Third day it got to zero, and it felt like a heat wave. I mean, it was crazy. Man, it was cold. I had 2 Great Danes at the time, and they loved being outside. I lived out on a farm type of a setting. It was out in the country, and they had freedom to run. You are on overtime. I am on overtime. Oh, it is after 6. But I had 2 Great Danes. I actually had to let them inside during that cold spell because it got too cold. I couldn't leave them outside, no way. They had a huge doghouse that was 12 by 12, and I had it bedded down with straw that was that thick, and that was their normal doghouse. But that was actually attached to the house, but I let them inside the house during that cold spell. You know, it was just way too cold, and I didn't want anything to happen to them. So anyway, all right, guys, well, listen, it is after 6 o'clock. I didn't realize that. It is now time for dinner. Let's all go eat. Let's get something to eat, right? Great Danes. I had 2. They were the sweetest dogs. They were so kind. They were intimidating because of their size, but they were gentle giants. They really were. Katie Girl and Tika, that was their names. Katie Girl was the mother. She had a litter. I got pick of the litter, and then my friend he had a Great Dane too, you know, sold the rest, but the one that I chose was another female, and she was bigger than her mom. Her name was Tika, and Tika is just it's an inverted Katie. Katie is Katie, and Tika was Tieka. It was her mom's name switched around. So they were wonderful dogs, very, very friendly. Okay, guys, make sure you comment, like if you liked it. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. We'll definitely do more, absolutely. And this is kind of a behind-the-scenes thing, just hanging out. And yeah, we'll do definitely more of these. And check out the rainbow video if you haven't seen it. That was one of the neatest rainbows I think I've ever seen. I've never seen one that dark, and neither had Jesse. Jesse is the one that shared it with me. So listen, thanks for all the likes and the gifts. I really do appreciate it. And guys, I'm gonna hop off here. It is 6:15. I'm gonna go grab something to eat, and you do the same. But listen, thanks for spending part of your Wednesday with me, and happy Valentine's Day, and we'll do it again probably tomorrow. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Scott, and everybody for stopping by. Thomas, and I'm going to check out your guys' photos and videos that you sent to the Dropbox. Appreciate it. Polenta R. Forest, happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for stopping by, guys.